B. The excellence of learning. 1. As for the evidential verses of the Quran, there is his saying, and if a party of every band of them march not out to war, it is that they may instruct themselves in their religion. Chapter 9, verse 123. Allah said, then ask the learned if you do not know. In chapter 16, verse 45, and in chapter 21, verse 7. 2. As for the traditions from Muhammad, there is his saying, quote, if one follows a road on which he seeks knowledge, Allah will cause him to walk on the road to the gardens by means of it. End quote. Quote, truly the angels, pleased with what the seeker of knowledge does, lower their wings in humility to him. End quote. Quote, you're going early to learn some kind of knowledge is preferable to your performing 100 cycles of worship. End quote. Quote, any branch of knowledge which a man learns is better for him than the present world and what is in it. End quote. Quote, seek knowledge even if it be in China. End quote. Quote, knowledge is a treasure chest, the keys of which are asking questions. Therefore ask, for truly 4 persons are rewarded by it, namely, the one who asks, the one who is learned, the one who hears, and the one who loves them. End quote. Quote, it is not necessary for the ignorant person to remain silent on account of his ignorance, nor for the learned man to keep silent on account of his knowledge. End quote. Quote, attending the public audience of a learned man is more excellent than performing a religious service of 1,000 cycles, visiting 1,000 sick people, and being present at 1,000 funeral services, as narrated in a tradition of Abu Dhar. So somebody asked the messenger, O messenger of Allah, and is it better than reading the Quran? He countered, does the Quran benefit without knowledge? End quote. Quote, there's only a difference of 1 degree in the garden, he said, between the prophets and the one who dies while seeking knowledge by which to revive Islam. End quote. 3. As for the records of the followers, Ibn Abbas said, I was humbled while I was a seeker of knowledge, therefore I became respected and sought. In like manner, Ibn Abi Mulaika said, I certainly have not seen anyone like Ibn Abbas. When I see him, I think he is the most handsome man in appearance, and when he speaks, the clearest man in speech, and when he gives an opinion, the most learned. Ibn Mubarak said, I marvel how the soul of one who does not seek knowledge can impel him to noble and generous action. One of the philosophers said, I pity no one the way I pity one of 2 men. A man who seeks knowledge and does not understand it, and the man who understands knowledge and does not seek it. Abu Darda said, to learn a problem of religion is more preferable to me than to spend a night in worship. And he also said, both the learned and the student are partners in doing good. The rest of the people are ignoramuses in whom there is no good. And he also said, be learned or a learner or a listener, but do not be a fourth, for you will perish. Ata said, a session of knowledge atones for 70 sessions of entertainment. Umar ibn Khattab said, the death of 1,000 worshippers who spend the night in worship and day in fasting is easier to endure than the death of a learned person who is keen to know the things permitted and forbidden of Allah. Ash-Shafi said, seeking knowledge is superior to performing the supererogatory worship. Ibn Abdul Hakam said, I was studying under Malik and noontime came, so I gathered my books in order to perform the worship, i.e. the nafil, and he said to me, say there, what you have got up to do is not superior to what you have. Say there, what you have got up to do is not superior to what you are doing if your aim is true, i.e. if you are learning in the desire to act upon your learning. Abu Darda said, if anyone thinks that rising early in the morning to seek knowledge is not religious warfare, then he is lacking in thought and reasoning power.